It's so hard to get used to.
Maybe you just step aside. Yeah.
Maybe that's easier.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Florian Heeb. I'm a postdoctoral associate at MIT Sloan. So when I started my research on sustainable finance, I started looking at the impact, at the real-world impact of sustainable financial products. And I found that, to my surprise, there was only very little knowledge, academic knowledge, on how financial products affect the real world. So there's plenty of research in this direction now, but at this point there were so many open questions and the level of evidence didn't really enable us to make clear assessments of individual products. At the same time, I noticed that there was a huge demand for sustainable investment products. So asset under managements were growing vastly year after year, and this was puzzling me. So if we have this enormous demand for sustainable financial products, but at the same time we have only very limited knowledge on whether these products actually benefit people and the planet. So why are people buying all these financial products? And this led us straight to our research question of this article: do investors care about the impact of their investments? So we addressed this question in an experiment with a panel of over 600 experienced private investors in the Netherlands, and also with a unique panel of over 120 dedicated impact investors. And in the experiment, we test how sensitive these investors are to the amount of impact they're having with their investments. And we find that yes, investors do care about impact, in the sense that these investors are really willing to pay quite substantially for investments with an impact. At the same time, we also find that investors are surprisingly insensitive to the amount of impact they're having. So we compare an investment that has 0.5 tons of CO2 in emission reduction as an impact with one that has 5 tons. So we have a factor of 10 difference between two investments. And in our experiment, we find that investors' willingness to pay for these two investments doesn't significantly differ. So although we have a factor of 10 in difference in impact, we have literally no difference in willingness to pay between these two investments. And this led us to ask, so why do we see this insensitivity? And we explored different angles, and the most convincing answer for this question is that investors' willingness to pay for impact is mainly driven by emotions. So it seems to feel good to invest in investments that have an impact, but this good feeling doesn't seem to depend on the amount of impact you're having with that. So these findings have some interesting implications. So rather than understanding investors with a demand for sustainability as consequentialists that try to optimize the real-world impact, we may think about them as warm glow optimizers that seek the good feelings they receive when choosing an impactful investment product, irrespective of its impact. So if we think about this from a market perspective, so if on one hand we have investors that want green investments, but they're mainly seeking the positive emotions they derive from choosing a green investment. On the other hand, we have an investment industry that wants to fulfill this demand at the cost as low as possible. This may lead to what we call a light green equilibrium, where investors feel good about their investments, they get served with investments that look green, but these investments in some may not have a significant impact on people and the planet. So we think that it's a very important task for policymakers to make sure that this huge demand for green assets that we're seeing actually connects to real-world impact at the scale we need to solve the grand challenges that we are facing. I'm particularly happy to receive this award after having received the research grant of the FIR-PRI in 2018 for the exact same project. So I think with this award, like a journey, a scientific journey, which was a lot of fun, comes to a very good conclusion.